Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos confers Al Nu'man First Class Order on Ambassador of Brunei Darussalam to the Sultanate. The Minister of Transport and Communications says that inauguration of Barka Al Hazm Road phase is at the end of the year. The Ministry of Housing decreases the fees for land plots specialized for food security service projects and amends the fees for commercial and industrial land plots. And at the cost of more than 50 million Omani Riyals, Al Wusta Fishing Company is established and will operate in the territorial waters. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos conferred Al Nu'man First Class Order on His Excellency Dr. Datu Haji Bisar Haj Abu Bakr, outgoing Ambassador of Brunei Darussalam to the Sultanate, in appreciation to his efforts in serving the good relations binding the two friendly countries. The order was handed over by His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Saeed when he received the ambassador in his office today. The first and second packages of Batina Express Road from the Wilaya of Barka to Al Hazm in the Wilaya of Rustaq will be opened at the end of this year. This was disclosed by His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Muhammad Al Fitaisi, Minister of Transport and Communications, during his inspection visit to the project. He also affirmed that work is undergoing to complete all the 6 packages of the project and open them for traffic movement next year. The meeting, which included officials from the Ministry of Transport and Communications and representatives of the project's implementing companies, discussed work plans and ways to overcome challenges and difficulties in a way that ensures the completion of the work on time. The Batina Express Road was designed to be a good addition to the internal road network in the Sultanate and an international gateway that connects the Sultanate with neighboring countries. The Ministry of Transport and Communications also revealed that the tender of road links of Batina Express Road will be awarded this year. This was stressed by His Excellency the Minister of Transport and Communications. He also said that the work will start next year at Truck Weight Station on Batina Express Road and the Bidbid Sur Road. The Ministry of Housing approved some amendments on some financial fees for granting land plots. It raised the fees for granting commercial and industrial plots and decreased fees for land plots allocated for food security projects. It kept the fees for housing plots for citizens untouched without any amendment: 1 Riyal per meter in the Governorate of Muscat and the Wilaya of Salalah, and 500 Bayza per meter for the rest of the wilayas in the Sultanate. As per this decision, the fees for granting commercial and industrial plots rose to 7 Riyals per meter in the Governorate of Muscat and the Wilaya of Salalah instead of 4.5 Riyals per meter. The fees of commercial and industrial plots in all wilayas of the Sultanate was amended to be 3 Riyals per meter instead of 1.5 meter. The new amendments also included reducing the fees for plots allocated for food security projects, such as plots allocated for livestock selling, to be 50 Riyals per acre annually instead of 1,470 Riyals per acre. Also, 50 Riyals per acre annually was determined for plots allocated for livestock breeding instead of 210 Riyals annually. The renting fees for plots allocated for poultry selling and breeding were reduced from 588 Riyals annually per acre to 50 Riyals. 50% fees exemptions for plots were kept untouched for categories including social security families, non-working persons, and those whose monthly income does not exceed 300 Riyals, handicapped people, and the retirees. In his remarks to Radio and Television of Sultanate of Oman, His Excellency Dr. Fuad bin Ja'far Al-Sajwani, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth, unveiled new reductions in usufruct fees for agricultural lands and some amends with regard to conditions and regulations organizing usufruct right. The decision included fees of 5 riyals per acre for agricultural lands. The fees for agricultural lands amounted to 5 riyals per acre for the first 100 acres. With more than 50 million Omani riyals, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth and Oman Investment Fund signed a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) to establish and operate Al Wusta Fishing Company. The company will work in international waters and overseas with a modern fleet, aiming to benefit of available fisheries wealth. As per the MOU, the company will use modern fishing techniques to increase fisheries production, finding added value sustainable fisheries industries that contribute to the economic diversification program and providing job opportunities for Omanis. Still to come in our news bulletin. Omani tolerance is the theme of an artistic exhibition by a French photographer depicting the Sultanate's efforts in spreading tolerance and love. The Ministry of Oil and Gas announced availability of 4 concession blocks for oil exploration for international companies work in the field of oil production. His Excellency Engineer Salim bin Nasser Al-Aufi, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Oil and Gas, said in a statement for Oman Daily that registration will be open for companies on the 23rd of October and will be closed in the middle of February 2017. His Excellency clarified that the Ministry provided new service that to review data and statistics for concession areas available in block numbers 30, 31, 49 and 52 through the Ministry's website. It's worth mentioning that the Sultanate's production of crude oil reached 1 million barrels per day. Oman oil price declined 87 cents from the price of yesterday to reach $49.36 per barrel. The monthly report issued by the Ministry of Oil and Gas pointed out that the Sultanate's total production of crude oil last September reached more than 30 million barrels, which recorded a decrease of 1% compared to last August. The exported crude oil in September reached 24.95 million barrels, with a daily average of 831,743 barrels, which recorded an increase of 0.15% compared to August. After 8 days of competition, Royal Oman Police celebrated today the conclusion of Police Annual Shooting Competition, which is organized by Police Sports Federation. The conclusion ceremony was held at the shooting ground at Sultan Qaboos Academy for Police Sciences in the Wilaya of Nizwa in the Governorate of Al-Dakhiliya and was presided over by His Excellency Lieutenant General Hassan bin Muhsin Al-Shriqi, Inspector General of Police and Customs. On his arrival, the chief guest was briefed on the activities of the Police Sports Federation. It witnessed the participation of police personnel. The participants used heavy guns to shoot plates in addition to using revolvers. At the end of the competition, winners were awarded. Discussing initial organizational preparations of Omani Creativity Exhibition in its 4th edition were the main goals of the meeting organized by Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development, RIADA. The meeting included a presentation on the exhibition and its deadline and venue, in addition to the number of participants from different organizations. The exhibition will be held at Oman Convention and Exhibition Center from the 23rd to the 25th of November 2016. It will target various sectors including tourism, logistics, innovation, agriculture, oil and gas, student companies, and the Ministry of Defense. The National Program for Strengthening Economic Diversification, Tanfeedh, implementing its stages and steps, in addition to the duration period of applying it, were at the center of discussions of dialogue session organized by Oman Journalists Association. During the session, His Excellency Talal bin Sulaiman al-Rahbi, Deputy Secretary General of the Supreme Council for Planning, stated that one of the stages of the 9th five-year plan will focus on youth and culture sector, in addition to improving all things related to media means and modern media. His Excellency also revealed that Tanfeedh program will work on putting innovative solutions for finance the 9th plan through activating private sector investments. The Omani Journalist Association session hosts a number of decision makers in the Sultanate within the integration between media means and association members with all country establishments. Omani tolerance is the theme of an artistic exhibition that documented lifestyle in the Sultanate and sends a message about what the Sultanate provided to the world of peace and love. The photography exhibition, which was held in Omani French Center by a French artist who used more black color in his works. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates, with chances of cloud accumulation and scattered rains over the Hajar Mountains. Winds will be north to northeasterly, light to moderate over the coasts of Sea of Oman, while along the coasts of the Arabian Sea, it will be south to southwesterly, light to moderate. Seas will be moderate along the coasts of the Arabian Sea with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. Rest of the coasts, it will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos confers Al Nu'man First Class Order on Ambassador of Brunei Darussalam to the Sultanate. The Minister of Transport and Communications says that inauguration of Barka Al Hazm Road phase is at the end of the year. The Ministry of Housing decreases the fees for land plots specialized for food security service projects and amends the fees for commercial and industrial land plots. And at the cost of more than 50 million Omani Riyals, Al Wusta Fishing Company is established and will operate in the territorial waters. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.